Hello, this is Mhako. I would like to talk about different creative events or artistic events that happened in the last quarter of the year, especially during the festive season. We saw a number of concerts happening. We saw um, different award ceremonies also taking place, chart shows happening. It was filled with a lot of pomp and fun, but also with a lot of disturbing events and unfortunate events that took place. Um, we saw the Mukanya peace tour happening. It was a whirlwind. It went from one city to the other, but I think the unfortunate part is that some of the concerts, some of the events did not really attract the numbers that were sort of expected based on the numbers that he got in the last concert, that he had last year. I think it was primarily because there's been a shift in terms of the preferences, in terms of the demographics that are attending shows that still relate to the music that he does. He's a legend, that is undisputable, but I think it would have required more aggressive marketing. It could have required even inclusion of some of the high-flying artists currently, teaming up with Mukanya to actually do this concert. I think it would have gone well. And also, I think the economic situation is just not playing well for the creative sector. People didn't have money to attend a lot of events, not only the Mukanya event, but I think also a number of events that have suffered. Some didn't actually happen. And we saw an unpleasant event in Kwekwe where Winky D was supposed to perform and apparently didn't manage to because of the violence that broke out there. I think this ugly head of violence, it's not really new. It's something that we've seen over the past few years, but at times we've made fun of it. We've seen youngsters performing on stage and people throwing cans and stuff. And I think it's a culture that, if not dealt with, if we don't really look at ourselves and say this is not good, it's a culture that really threatens our artistic fabric, our freedom of expression. It threatens our level of tolerance and divergent views and opinion. We've seen it happening to artists that either sing stuff that audience think, oh, this is not cool, and then they throw cans, or just different camps feeling that this artist is not supposed to perform in this neighborhood. We've seen that, and I think it's something that needs to really be dealt with. We also saw a number of awards, the Zanu-PF Awards, the Chitungwiza Entertainment and Lifestyle Awards happening at the end of the year, and some nominations for different awards that are also supposed to take place. I think what's interesting is that the sticking point around a lot of these awards shows is still an issue of integrity. The need to actually rework and make sure that we bring back the level of integrity that will make sure that the awards are worth talking about. The question around adjudication, the nomination, and the actual award that comes out of the platform, how worthy it is. And then the music chart shows, different radio stations and also the main and Soul TV station had a chart show. I think this has been the most recent center of conversation because of the issues that surround the number or the artists that are nominated there and some of the artists that win, and the connection to whether their songs or videos were really worth the recognition or not. I think it's the same with the awards, that we need to actually revisit some of the systems that are in place. If the systems are really working and if they are producing the best desired results. Moving forward, I would suggest that I think different organizers of these platforms need to really sit down and look and say, look, if it's radio, for example, how come we have dominance of artists from one particular region? Does it mean that nobody else is singing music? Nobody else is producing good music? No. What it means is that there is a crisis. So we need to really consider, an effort to deliberately create a devolution for the arts, to make sure that the grassroots artists in Mtukudzi, artists in Mhako, in Kirsty, in all those places are able to access the very same platforms that the mainstream artists are accessing. And also to look at radio airplay and say, are we really promoting local, and do we have a lot of new artists that are not known also accessing the same space, so that we have a chart show that is representative of the national music discourse. Yeah, that's my thought.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.